To witness the end of a life is to witness one of life's most sacred mysteries. It is a time not for fear, but for profound attention. The signs are not loud, but if you learn to listen with your heart, you can offer the one gift that truly matters, your peaceful presence. The final insight I will share will change how you see not only death, but your own life, so I invite you to stay. Withdrawing energy. The first change that we can learn to observe is a profound withdrawal of energy. And it is important, from the very beginning, that we do not mistake this for simple tiredness or what we might call laziness. It is an entirely different quality. It is a purposeful gathering inwards. In many traditions, this life force is called Chi or prana. Throughout our lives, this energy is directed outwards, into our work, our relationships, our ambitions, our activities. We spend it freely. But as the physical body prepares for its great transition, the spirit understands that this energy must now be conserved for a different kind of journey, an inner one. You might notice that a person who was once active now spends most of their day resting, not just sleeping, but in a state of quiet repose. They may decline invitations to go out, not because they are sad or antisocial, but because the effort required to engage with the external world is simply too great a cost. The energy they have is precious, and their inner wisdom guides them to save it. For us, on the outside, this can be difficult to accept. Our desire is to help, and we often translate that into trying to cheer them up, to get them moving, to bring the world to them. But this can be a disturbance. The most compassionate action is to adjust our own expectations. The practice for us here is to learn to sit in the quiet with them, without needing to fill the space with conversation or activity. Can you simply be a calm, quiet presence in the room while they rest? Can you offer a cup of tea without demanding they finish it? Can you hold their hand without needing a response? This withdrawal is not a rejection of you. It is a necessary preparation. The body knows its task is nearing completion, and it is wisely and gracefully beginning to power down the functions that are no longer essential for the journey that lies ahead. By recognizing this sign not as a problem to be solved, but as a natural process to be honored, we change our role. We are no longer trying to pull them back into our world of activity. Instead, we are becoming a quiet anchor for them in theirs. We are providing a safe space for this essential and sacred withdrawal to occur. We are learning to support their letting go, not by doing more, but by being more present, more accepting, more still. This is the first and perhaps most important adjustment of our own heart and mind that is required. Letting go. The second change flows naturally from the first. As the physical energy withdraws, so too does the mental and emotional energy. This appears as a form of social detachment, a gentle letting go of the world and its many dramas. A person who may have been passionately interested in the news, in politics, in the lives of their neighbors, or even in the details of their own family's struggles, may now show a profound lack of interest. They are not being uncaring. They are unburdening themselves. Imagine preparing for a long and important journey. You would not pack your heaviest bags filled with things you no longer need. You would take only the absolute essentials. This is what the spirit is doing. This can be one of the most painful signs for a family to witness, because it can be misinterpreted as a loss of love or connection. When you share a piece of news that would have once elicited a strong response, and you are met with a quiet nod or a simple "oh," it can feel like a personal rejection. But if we can look deeper with a compassionate eye, we can see it for what it is, a sign of peace. The attachments to the outcomes of the world are dissolving. The need to be right, to have an opinion, to be involved in every story is fading away. This is a profound spiritual achievement, one that many people spend their entire lives trying to cultivate through practice and meditation. Our role here is not to try and re-engage them in the drama. It is not to test their memory or their interest. It is to respect their disengagement. This is the ultimate act of letting go. They are releasing their hold on the world, and we must, in turn, gently release our hold on the version of them that we once knew. The person who needed to be at the center of every conversation is gone, and in their place, is someone who is finding their center in the quiet of their own being. This is a sacred transformation, not a loss. Can we sit with them and appreciate the silence? Can we talk about simple things, the color of the sky, the feeling of a soft blanket, a beautiful memory from long ago, without expecting a lengthy discussion? By doing this, we are meeting them where they are. We are entering their world, a world that is becoming simpler, quieter, and more peaceful. We are honoring their journey of detachment by practicing our own. We learn to love the person who is present now, not the memory of the person who was. This is a difficult but beautiful practice of unconditional love and acceptance. Bridging worlds. As the connection to this world softens, it is not uncommon for a person to begin to experience a different kind of connection, a bridging of worlds. This is a very delicate and often misunderstood sign. An elderly person may begin to speak about seeing or conversing with loved ones who have already passed on, a spouse, a parent, a sibling. They might speak of them as if they are right there in the room waiting for them. From a purely clinical perspective, this is often labeled as confusion or hallucination, a sign of a failing mind. But if we can set aside that clinical lens for a moment and look with a more open heart, we might see something else. Could it be that as the veil between life and death thins, their perception is actually expanding, not failing? The strong attachments and sensory inputs of this world are fading, and this may allow them to become sensitive to realities that we, who are still so firmly planted here, cannot perceive. They are not distressed by these visions. In fact, they are often a source of great comfort and peace. It is a sign to them that they are not going into an empty void, but that they are going to be reunited with those they have loved. They are being met. Our immediate impulse is often to correct them, to orient them back to our reality. No, Grandma, we might say, your husband passed away 10 years ago. We do this with the best of intentions, thinking we are helping them be clear. But in that moment, what is the impact of our correction? It can create confusion, agitation, and a feeling of being invalidated. We are, in essence, telling them that their deeply comforting and very real experience is wrong. We are pulling them out of a peaceful space and into a space of argument and disorientation. The more compassionate practice is to enter their reality with them with curiosity and without judgment. Instead of correcting, we can ask questions. Oh, your mother is here. What is she wearing? What is she saying? By doing this, you are not lying or indulging a delusion. You are honoring their experience. You are communicating that you see them, that you hear them, and that you are not afraid of what they are going through. You are becoming a trusted companion on their journey, a bridge for them to feel safe and understood as they stand with one foot in this world and one foot in the next. This is an act of profound validation and love. Returning Earth. The physical body, which has served for so many decades, begins its final and most humble task, preparing to return to the earth from which it came. This manifests in a sign that is very clear to observe, a significant decrease in appetite and a resulting loss of weight. The body, in its innate wisdom, understands that it no longer requires the fuel to build and repair itself. The intricate processes of digestion and metabolism require a great deal of energy, and as we have discussed, this energy is now being conserved for a more important inner purpose. The desire for food, and even for water, naturally diminishes. For families, this can be one of the most distressing signs. Food is so deeply intertwined with our concepts of love, care, and nurturing. To see a loved one refuse a meal that we have lovingly prepared feels like a rejection of our care. Our instinct is to coax, to plead, to bargain. Just one more bite for me. We worry they are starving, that we are failing in our duty to keep them strong. We see the weight loss as a sign of disease taking over, and our fear drives us to push food when the body is clearly saying no. But we must try to understand. Forcing food on a body that is shutting down its digestive processes can cause great discomfort. It can lead to nausea, bloating, and pain. It turns the act of eating, once a pleasure, into a burden. Our loving intention has an unloving result. The practice here is one of complete surrender to the body's wisdom. we must shift our focus from providing calories to providing comfort. Instead of pushing a full meal, perhaps we can offer a small spoonful of ice cream, a sip of a favorite juice, or simply moisten their lips with a damp cloth. This is a profound shift in our role as a caregiver. We are no longer fighting against the process, we are supporting it. We are trusting that the body knows exactly what it is doing. The physical form is lightening itself, unburdening itself for its final release. By respecting this process, we are offering a deeper kind of nourishment, the nourishment of acceptance, of peace, of freedom from struggle. We are communicating to our loved one that it is okay. It is okay to let go. We are not holding them here with our own need for them to eat. We are giving them permission to follow their body's natural path home. Finding center. The final sign is perhaps the most subtle and the most beautiful. It is when all the other changes, the withdrawal of energy, the letting go of attachments, the bridging of worlds, the lightening of the body, coalesce into a state of profound stillness. There is a quiet peace that settles over the person, a tangible sense of resolution. The restlessness and agitation that may have been present before seem to dissolve, and what is left is a simple, uncomplicated state of being. The struggle is over. There is an acceptance that is so deep it requires no words. You may walk into the room and find them simply gazing out the window, not looking at anything in particular. There is no anxiety on their face, no sadness. There is only stillness. The need for conversation fades almost completely. The person has traveled inward, journeyed through their life's memories and attachments, and has arrived at their center. They are simply abiding in their own essence, waiting. This is not a state of emptiness, it is a state of fullness. It is the peace that comes from knowing the journey is complete. It is a teaching for all who are present to witness it. Our practice in the face of this stillness is the most simple and the most difficult: to do nothing, to simply be with them in that stillness, to sit in a chair beside them and breathe, to resist the urge to fill the silence with noise, with questions, with memories, to just allow the peace in the room to be. In these moments, you are not just a caregiver, you are a student. You are learning about the nature of life and death from a true master, someone who is living the ultimate teaching of acceptance. This quiet presence is the final, most precious gift you can offer. It is a communication that goes far beyond words, from one heart to another. This is the great paradox. In observing the signs of a life coming to its end, we are given the most profound lessons on how to truly live. We learn to let go of our need to control. We learn to listen instead of speak. We learn that presence is more powerful than action, and that love's truest expression is not in holding on, but in gracefully letting go. To witness this final chapter is not a tragedy, it is an honor. It is a sacred invitation to find the same stillness and peace within our own hearts, right here, right now. I cared for my father in his final months, and everything you described happened. The bridging worlds part gave me chills. He kept talking to my mom, who passed years ago, and it comforted him so much. We stopped correcting him and just listened. It was the most beautiful, heartbreaking, and peaceful experience of my life. Thank you for putting words to it.